I had 11 days between Grand Teton National Park and Yellowstone. 11 days to find somewhere to land, somewhere free or close to it on national forest land just outside the parks. The first time around, I had a secret weapon. I had time. I had a Friday afternoon with nothing on the calendar and a Jeep I could take down roads I wasn't sure about before committing my RV to them. The second time around, I had a map, a research session, and a whole lot of confidence. One of those approaches worked out a whole lot better than the other one. It was 2 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. I needed to be out of Grosse Font Campground on Monday, and I wanted to know exactly where I was going before I got there. So instead of hiking, I went scouting. My first stop was Shadow Mountain Dispersed camping, about 1.5 miles down a gravel road, bumpy and narrow enough that if someone's coming the other way, one of you is pulling over. I got in and found 6 spots arranged in a circle that would fit my rig. I tried going right, up the mountain, steep, 1 lane, and not happening in an RV. I tried left, and it was pretty much tent and van territory. And then it just ended. So here's the math. 6 spots, a rough road in and out, 2 o'clock on a Friday afternoon in peak season. Do I drive all the way back down that road on Monday morning and hope one of those 6 spots is open? I moved on. My second stop was Topping's Dispersed Camping, and it had the best road of the 3 sites that I scouted that afternoon. It was paved almost all the way to the top, which after Shadow Mountain felt like a luxury. But when I got there, the open areas on either side didn't have campfire rings. The spots that did have rings were sized for tents. The area that looked right from my rig felt more like a trailhead lot, perfect for car campers and van lifers heading on foot, not a Class C with a Jeep in tow. So I went up the mountain. And I will say this, the view up there was stunning. One of those spots where you just stop and take it in for a minute. I didn't get any pictures, which I'm still kicking myself for. But trust me when I tell you the setting was beautiful. It just wasn't beautiful in a way that worked for my rig. Now, there were larger sites up that hill. So if you're in a bigger rig and willing to find out what's up there, that might be the move. I was not that person. The sites I could see were limited and everyone looked squeezed in. That view, though, worth knowing it's up there. And my last stop of the afternoon was Spread Creek Dispersed Camping, also on national forest land, also about 1 mile to 1.5 miles in, but this road is a completely different experience. Wide enough that I never once had to think about pulling over. Gravel, a little incline, nothing dramatic. I went right first to a more shaded and honestly prettier area. I then came back down to the main open area. Lots of gravel, lots of rock, very sunny, which is great for my solar, but not the most picturesque campsite you've ever seen. But when I pulled into the spot I liked best, my front window was staring right at the Grand Tetons. And it was a Friday afternoon in June. There was still plenty of spots open. And that's not a small thing. I found out later that the official Grand Teton Park newspaper independently recommends Spread Creek. The Dirt app points here too. It's not just one source pointing in the same direction. It's a crowdsourced app and the Park Service agreeing. And now I can tell you from personal experience, it delivers. I moved in on a Monday. I stayed 4 nights. I actually pulled out a day early, on Thursday instead of Friday. You can only stay there for 5 nights between Memorial Day and Labor Day. And my thinking was that it would be harder to find a site somewhere new on a Friday, and I was right. Friday night is the busiest night of the week for finding a campsite. If you're planning a dispersed camping move, keep that in mind. Thursday is your friend, and Willie approved this site. 4 nights at Spread Creek, free camping on national forest land with the Tetons out my front window. Eventually, though, it was time to move. Yellowstone was calling. I had 9 nights at Grand Village starting on the 25th, and I needed a landing spot in between. A few nights to decompress, and maybe make a run into the park to get my bearings straight before the main stay. This time, I didn't have a Friday afternoon to scout. I had a travel day, a phone, a few apps, and some YouTube videos I'd watched ahead of time. I researched. I found what looked like a good option. Grassy Lake Road Dispersed Camping, just south of Yellowstone's south entrance. 20 sites, national forest land, no cost. I did not drive at first. So what I found was 5 miles of washboarded road, the kind that shakes everything that isn't bolted down, and a few things that are.
Turn right onto Grassy Lakes Road. In about 11 miles, your destination is on the left.
Gone down about a mile so far. So no signs of camping or campers yet. I'm sure this will turn to dirt. So after about a mile down the road, it turns to dirt. This is four-wheel drive advised. Oh, there have been people in here. So far, it's not bad. So we see how far down. Limit 14 days. And it's a washboard right here. Oh my gosh. Just go slow. 1. There's someone leaving. I'm going to take that spot right there. That's a good one. Sorry. Looks like there's several spots over here. Camp 1 were sites. I only see 2 or 3 in there. So this is the one we're going down. This is very
Proceed to the route.
rutted. So there's a little bit of snow cover now. Garbage here, yay. So let's see. Where are we going? Well, they did not leave. They left their stuff there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, they left their stuff. So this is not a spot. Ugh. They told me that, but alright, so site 1 looks taken. So we're going back out again. So site 1 is not a good one today. And I have to get down this hill and I'll bottom out. It would have been nice if they told me that there was nothing open there, but yeah. So site 1 is a no-go. Sorry, Willie. On to site 2. So that was about a half a mile down the road. See what happens at site 2.
You'll get better views. There's the mountains right there. So while it's 2 lanes up here, you're going to go into a gully if you want to pass. The road isn't bad. I just wouldn't necessarily want to pass someone. Not impossible. Here's a pullout. But a pullout only helps if there's someone coming at that exact moment. Looking for site 2. I don't see anything yet. I've gone a mile down the road. What does this say? Camp 2. 2 sites. I see 2 cars in there already. I see 1 car. Looks tiny. I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to go down to 3. So hopefully Camp 3 is a charm. I'm now 1.5 miles down the road. And if someone had to pass me, it would not be possible. Now, there have been travel trailers down here. Please let there be something in sight 3. So pretty. Here's site 3. 1 or 2 parties. How many sites is this? Camp 3. 2 sites. There's already 2 there. Ugh.
And somewhere in those 5 miles, screws ended up on my floor. The rubber strap holding my broken stairs in place, the ones I've been nursing along since the tire tread came off in Wisconsin 2 years ago, snapped. The ties holding my awning together started coming apart. And at the end of those 5 miles, 20 campsites with every single one of them taken, and no place to turn around. I had to pull up to a trailhead, disconnect the Jeep, maneuver the RV into a position where I could back out, reload the Jeep, and drive 5 miles back out the same road I'd just come in on.
I can find a turnaround. So there's a trailhead. Honestly, I think I'm going to park at the trailhead. Does it say no camping? I really don't want to go in here any farther. I just don't. So I'm going to hopefully... Can I clear that first? It's going to be tight. That's tight. I think I'm going to be in a position where I have to disconnect and back up. So there's no camping. But I'm kind of stuck. That was bad. No camping, no campfires, there's trails. So I'm going to have to disconnect, turn around, and get out of here. And I don't know where I'm going tonight because this is not working right. I just trust that God is going to put me in the right place tonight for the next week. It didn't work out for a reason, and it's not right. Right? Just gotta trust. Doesn't make sense to me at the moment, but you just gotta trust. Thinking full hookups, a hose would be really nice right now. I just want a bath. I want a bath for my car, my Jeep, me, my RV.
Here's the thing. The listings are clear about how many sites there are. I knew it was 20. I thought I'd take the chance. I'm always thinking about how I'm going to get back out again. And this time, I found out the hard way. My last stop is a place that did not have great reviews, although I think this place is amazing.
Is there nothing in there? Oh, there are sites in there. I went down Grassy Creek. What a nightmare. 5. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much. It's been a rough day. Thank you. Oh, good. Alrighty. She is so sweet. So 5 or 7. Oh, and she seems very nice. This road does not seem terrible. It's a little tight. And a little pothole. I think I only have to go down a half mile, maybe. And it's rains, it's not going to be fun. It's like it opens up a little bit there. Which pothole is worse? I don't know. It's just
Sheffield Campground is a National Forest Service site, not strictly dispersed camping, but at $13 a night, it's close enough. And with my senior America the Beautiful pass, that dropped to $6. The camp host actually refunded me down to an even 6. 13 divided by 2 is $6.50, and they don't charge the 50 cents. The half mile in is extremely potholed. If it rains, it could get muddy. But there's no rain in the forecast, and honestly, after Grassy Lake Road, a half mile of potholes felt like a Sunday drive.
potholes. Very narrow.
You do have to cross a narrow wooden planked bridge with the weight limit of 5 tons. I saw a schoolie on the other side, so I took a deep breath and drove across.
Wait, campsite. There's a bridge to go over. Yay. Would have to do some quick math right now. Oh my gosh. There's a bus back here. That's a good sign. And there's sites. That Grassy Creek one. Wilderness Trails. This must be it. Right. Oh. Sheffield Creek.
Here's the detail that tells you everything about this part of Wyoming. These sites literally just reopened a week before I arrived. Closed through early June because of snow. Snow in June. 12 sites total. It's a large site with a bear box, which means I can get my Blackstone out and cook.
All right, home sweet home. Oh, thank you, Lord. This is obviously where I'm supposed to be. Okay. Oh, gosh.
Everything else in the area was full. Sheffield had space. And you aren't parked on top of each other. And the camp host was amazing. Willie and I are here for 8 nights. Here's what I took away from this whole stretch. The research gets you close, but it doesn't get you there all the way. The road conditions, the turnaround situation, the actual feel of a spot, and how many people are already there. You don't know that until you're in it. When I had time to scout in person, I found the Tetons out my front window. When I skipped that step, I spent an afternoon disconnecting my Jeep at a trailhead and nursing my rig back out 5 miles of washboard with screws on the floor. The lesson isn't that dispersed camping isn't worth it. It absolutely is. The lesson is, if you can drive it first, drive it first. The 2 sites I actually stayed at, Spread Creek and Sheffield, are in my Campground app. The free version gives you the location and basic details, and the unlocked paid version includes my personal notes, the road conditions, the site sizes, what worked and what didn't. Only the places I personally stayed in make it. That's the whole point. I'll leave a link in the description. And Willie and I will see you at Yellowstone.